Hello, adventurer. Welcome to Scratch Quest Live, and today we'll be uh, learning Java again, watching broker video. So let's start. So previously we were in, I think, variable scope. I think we're in overload mode, and these things have learned. So yeah, my goal is to at least learn up to array or something like that. This lab is going to be 2 hours. Then I will take a 1 hour break. Then again, I will do 2 hour, so 4 hour in total. We're in 5 hours. So let's go up to 8 hour, right? Let's this video I will not doing much code. I will just be watching. I'll be practicing some. Yes. So let's start.
What is going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to discuss methods and hello
I
times.
have learned about
So, without using a
method. I have learned about methods. So let's go to overload methods. What they are?
that's the return type, the method. So let's go over another example. The, get an error. Actual and formal method's name plus its parameters. Hello,
Start.
everybody. In this video, I'm going to explain overloaded methods in Java. In Java, overloaded methods are methods that share the same name, but they have different parameters.
Okay.
A method's name plus its parameters will give you a unique method signature.
Okay.
Each method signature needs to be unique. No two methods can share the same signature, but they can share the same name. Double. Add is the method name. Add the numbers 1 plus. What if I would like to add a third number? You can see that Java is already giving us a warning.
Okay.
Expected two arguments has different parameters.
So as I have learned previously, so we can make a method which has the same name and parameters, one of the parameters meaning the towel. So in here, as you can see, I have done one, two, three. As there are parameter one, two parameter, uh, there is one, two parameter which can accept two numbers. So one and two, as we needed one and two, one was transferred to A and two was transferred to B. But now as we have uh, added three parameters, this method is wrong because there is three numbers, but there is only two parameters to accept the numbers. So the number and the parameter is not matching. So in Java, if that happens, then the method will not be called. And that's one thing. The another thing we can learn from this is that this called method overloading, as I have said, where we can make a one method of this which actually just two parameters, then also make up parameters which access three parameters. Let's I want to test if, let's say, I give, if it access three parameters, but I only gave one parameters, what will happen then? Let's see. So this is a previous project I did. Let's go to our Java ID. Let's go and see. So first of all, let's honestly, this is one of the method where what happens is we had asked the user name and just made a string name, then asked the user name and name and is. Then we ask the user how much time they want to say happy birthday to how much usage. According to that, it said happy birthday. Now let's clear this method. Okay, let's clear up this. Other things we might need it. Package import Java vital util, public class main, public static void main, string is yes, scanner yes C. So uh, honestly, let's do this from start because I have honestly forgot most of the. So first of all, as I'm not really asking user for anything, but still ask, let's use the scanner function. Let's put let's delete these two. Input scanner. What is it? Scanner.in. Input is scanner.system.in. I have honestly forgot most of the thing. Let's bring back Java util that scanner public class main. Oh, let's just do it. Import Java util dot scanner. Scanner is big. This became I guess this became the starting point. So the starting point would be public class void main. Public class void main. Public class void main. Then public static void public. I honestly forgot most of the thing. Oh my god. Public static void public class main is just public class main. Public class main. So name it should be then public class void public class void main string. Here is some mistake. Is public class main. So inside this, we need to write public scanner whether that public class main. Public class main should be the name should be this, right? So I have to here first of all. Public class name, public class, public class or public static void, public static void. I still need to practice. Static, static void string. Yes, yes. Then you start the program from here. Static is the static small or big? I think static is small. Static, static. Then it became grainy. Then system, system. C is equal to system, not system. Scanner is C. Scanner is C is equal to second is scanner, new scanner, new scanner system dot in. As far I know, it was one of the yes. Okay, I'm doing a huge mistake here. Let's possible. I'm doing this in here, right? Public static void. Public static void. So what mistake am I doing here? Public Java util dot scanner. I think I'm doing that right. Public class main. Public class main is my right. So what does that mean? Public static void. Public static void main. Okay, I'm not stick. Okay, this is okay. Let's just delete this for a second and let's do it from start. So first of all, for if I want to like ask user for the input to do that for the printing stuff, I need to use input scanner dot util util dot java java dot java dot util dot scanner. That's it, I guess. Scanner. That's the thing. Then after that, I will for entering the program it was public class. Then our file name for me it is main, so I'll use main. If it is hello hi, use other things. Then bracket to enter. Then again public class. Uh, no, not public class, public void static void. Static void. Static should be small. Static, static, uh, static. How do you static void, static void, and static void main is small. Then string and big letter. Then ARGS. Then start the programming from here. Now let's make a method. Now to make the method, we need to make the method inside this main, but outside there is a static void. We'll know why later on. Let's make a method called a simple method called int. Not I. Should I return int or static double void? So static double static static double void static double void, not void. Sorry, just to add static double. So whatever possible we need to accept the user first, whether we need to use this uh, that this is for this much, this is for the line. So public static void, so I need to accept user do to double a and double b. Then after that I need to use comma. I think we have done thing correctly. Then a uh, a yeah, let's do 90 c is equal to a plus b, and we'll return, or we can just return a plus b here. Just do that. We can just minus that, and we do that. Yes. We will all the method by saying add, and inside this we'll add double, and I will just add one and two, one and two. Yes. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, some mistake. Return a plus b. I need to print this it. So to print, I need to write. I need to write a thing. Uh, out system didn't print or that. Yes, then there's some mistake I have done here. This three would be the answer. So that is for printing, right? For printing, that is system dot add. Now let's do a thing. Let's add another number. Let's add three. If I do this, then obviously this would be incorrect, right? So let's say I do this. I just take the number, press C, copy this, then another number. But now I will use double double C. So I'll C would be my like what I will be using. So if I use this, then that still some error, right? So it is giving me the same error. Double A. Should I use a parameter that is different? Y C. Now I think this wouldn't be problem. Would be the problem. So let's first of all do that. So let's reduce south. Then inside south, I will add two number. Then okay, if I change that, then okay, this change also. So if I add three numbers, this should be like correct, right? So this should be correct. Okay, why is this written? I should return basically e plus y plus c should be returned, right? So when I do that, then 6. Let's say I use uh let's say I use a, I use b, b, and I use let's do this and double let's use c. Yeah, yeah, c. Let's do this. Let's return a plus b plus c. Now what will happen? Will it give me the answer? Yes. So, and even the parameter is same, what needs to be the same is the amount of value given. So if I have given 3 value, then the 3 values should be given here. That's the rule. Okay, I understand that. So few things that I'm still confused about in this meta section is why you use static and stuff like that.
where we accept 3 numbers. So let me just copy this method, paste method as you use it. We have to up you everything of type of grouping inherent the main method at once for this method of having this keyword of static. In order for this program to work, we need to add this keyword of static. Normally you don't need this keyword, but since we're calling this method of happy birthday from another method that's static, this method also needs to be static.
Okay, so reason we have used static is because we are inside this public class void main, right? But we aren't right inside that. So as I have read, as broker have said, the reason we use static is because we are inside these things. But as far I know, okay, I understand. We are calling the function inside this static, right? Static, and that that's the reason we need to use static. If we didn't use the static in here, we didn't need to use static in here too. So that's the thing. Understand that? Okay, that's a great finding, I guess. Let's go to overload method again. Understand overload method now. It's pretty easy. Let's skip this too.
We'll return a class variable of x. X will equal some numbers. Method has a local scope, and I'll just add a comment that this is a local variable. Outside of the set of curly braces, where this variable is declared, x isn't going to be recognized. That's why if we create another method, we would have to pass it as an argument. Let's create another method. This method of the same name is going to equal 2. To have variables with the same name, as long as they're within different methods, the moment variable x is already defined in the scope. X on where
Understand this.
these two methods can look out their window and see variable x, and that it equals 3. If I was to delete these two local variables, here's the result. And print x,
Okay.
here's the result. That also treat. And within our method of do something, x equals 2. Let's call within the main input is going to be, and then within the do something method, within our method of do something, x equals 2. Let's call the do something method. We'll print x within the main method, and then within the do something method, 1 and 2. I think the output is going to be, well, we have 1 and 2. Even though there's a third x variable within the class scope,
Okay.
Java likes to use any local variables first, if they share the same name as any class variables.
Okay.
Within our method of main, this method thinks x equals 1. It's going to use the local scope first. You'll likely want to stick with local variables over class variables. There are a few situations when a change method or other than a set of curly braces, which is a whole nother topic. So, or when working with object-oriented programming, which is a whole nother topic. So that is variable scope in Java. Anything with the local scope is declared inside of the method, or otherwise within a set of curly braces, and is only recognized within this method. Other methods aren't aware of its existence. That's sometimes why we pass them as arguments to other methods. Class variables are declared inside the class. They're recognized throughout the entire class. And well, everybody, that is variable scope in Java. Hello, everybody. In this video, we're going to create a very simple banking program using Java. This video is meant to be a beginner's project to help us understand how methods work. So if that sounds good to
Okay.
you, let's get started. As a beginner, it might be helpful to you to break up your project into separate steps, then tackle this project one step at a time. I'll add a few comments of the different steps our program is going to take. So first, we're going to declare our variables. I misspelled that. Then we will display a menu. A user is going to pick a choice from this menu. Depending on what they want to do, they can make a deposit, show their balance, make a withdrawal, so on and so forth. Once the user exits.
So I have done this project where I was not switching to my broker. Okay. I have like done this project which includes this thing called, well, still in this for a second. So I have done this project of, well, asking the user for the menu driven idiom like system in C programming. As far I have like remembered, it was we used we used something like switch cases, to know about what to do. So if I had to think, so we have, first of all, we need to do four things. First of all, ask user what to do. My tongue is slipping, so if whatever I'm speaking sounds little bit like bad, I guess, please don't blame me. See, so first priority is asking user what to do. Asking user what to do. Second thing to do is, after asking the user what to do, like give option. The option being something like, I guess, yeah, first options. So option, we are give four options. So four options would be uh, accepting the deposit, accepting money, like first of all, accepting money, accepting the money, withdrawal, taking out the money, then let's say accepting to, let's say deposit, let's say withdrawal, then let's say check balance, then lastly we exit. We have these four like options. So let's go to our notebook so we can know. So first, a few things. First of all, let's, for before we go, let's like see how this, for so few things. I need to ask the user what to do. Then second, first is ask the user what to do. And second, will give option, and give option. Will give option. The option being the option being stuff like first option being uh first option being like, you want to deposit, or second option being 3.2 being like withdrawal, withdrawal, uh third option being, well, uh check balance, then fourth option being exit the program. These are the four things that needs to be done, but these are the three things that we need to do. Ask the user what needs to do, take the deposit and do stuff. To do this stuff, what we need to do, this stuff, first of all, we need few things. So this needs to be on loop. This needs to be, that's one of the rules, right? This needs to be rule. To do that, and we need things like switch case, which makes it easier. Switch cases. I think that's one of the thing we need to use. Method. That's one of the another things. So using this option, we can do that. So what I need to do is, first of all, actually what needs to be done Then user says, let's say, deposit the balance. When user deposits the balance, when deposit the money would be transferred to check balance. So balance would increase, right? So whenever user enters the check balance, then the balance would show. Is it 100? Is it 200? We'll see. If user like tries to withdraw the money that you last deposit, we'll see our deposit. If the money is, but here's the thing, if the money that is going to be withdrawn is more than check balance, he cannot withdraw from the bank. Only when the money is less, then yes. We have these things, and these loop will go until the user exits from the program. So this is honestly a really hard program to do. We need to do this all while in a method. So let's do this. First of all, let's do the basic. Like let's make a framework. First of all, let's do like uh, okay. So let me just check this option. First of all, okay. First of all, it is simple. For asking the user for the data, uh, we need to ping them, right? We need to tell user what to do. For that, we need to give option and stuff. We need to use scanner, right? So Java dot util dot scanner for asking user what to do. Then start the program with simple class public class void public class. Then our class is main. We'll start the program. Then public static void main inside this string. Yeah, yes, yes. This is the basic framework. Now, when you are using method, let's make a method for each of these: deposit, withdraw, and check balance. So let's first of all make a static int static static double static double. We'll name the deposit. That's our first program. Plus C, B, deposit, withdraw, and check, then check balance. These are the three meters. Let's check them. Let's make first withdraw, then lastly balance. So these four methods, right? So we need to use these four methods. Inside the inside this, we need to use the switch method. Inside here, we need to use, I guess, deposit method. So this is going to be a little bit hard. So how do we do it? For deposit method, whatever the parameters is, we'll add it to the balance pad. So we whatever the deposit comes. For example, let's say we ask the user. First of all, we ask the user uh, what you want. So we need to do in switch case, right? First, we ask the user uh, so what do you want to enter? Welcome to the well welcome to the ATM. Sorry, just do it here. Welcome to the ATM. We'll start again. Then enter number 1, 2, 4. Here's the thing. Do we ask the user the number here? So first of all, let's do switch case. As I know, switch case is I is equal to whatever user have entered. So so this switch needs to be inside a loop, right? This switch needs to be inside the loop. We need to ask for the enter number 1 to 4. Whatever user have entered, we get that. Okay, also this do that. Whatever user enter, save and whatever user enters goes to the number. I have entered that made then the loop goes. So loop goes and not through the any number until the user enters one. So until the number is for this needs to be inside the loop, right? So this needs to be inside the loop. So for uh it's not I not for. Should we use for gigs and what should I use? While is best, right? Not for. While while I is not equal to not equal to 4 to is it or another way of say that correct? And I is equal to not equal to 4. Then it will that so when you do that the number will go in here. So anti number is equal to it can be let's watch broker video meta. Okay, let's watch broker video for now. Let's see what he does.
With it to be an integer. All right, the user is going to pick 1 to show balance, 2 to deposit, 3 to withdraw, or 4 to exit. The user is going to fill this in later using the scanner. All right, we have declared our variables. Now we'll display a menu to the user. I will print the file of is running. We're going. Let's take care of that now because I'm probably going to forget. We have our scanner, our balance. We're going to continue this program after that now because I'm probably going to forget. We have our scanner, our balance. We're going to continue this program as long as the user doesn't exit. We'll need a while loop. We will declare and assign a Boolean variable of is running. Set that to be true. Continue this program while is running is true. Then we will accept a choice from the user. This will be an integer. A user is going to pick 1 to show balance, 2 to deposit, 3 to withdraw, or 4 to exit. The user is going to fill this in later using the scanner. All right, we have declared our variables. Now we'll display a menu to the user. I will print the following. Let's say it makes it look cool. Option 1, be to set and process the user's choice. Your choice. We will assign our variable of choice equal to the following. Now variable of choice. We're going to call a method to show our balance. Let's say show balance. Case 2 will be, case 3 is for withdraw. Case 3, withdraw. Case 4 is to exit. That we can actually fill in right away. It's pretty simple. We'll take our Boolean variable of is running and set it to be false. Then we'll add a default case, in case somebody doesn't type in a number 1 through 4. Enter a choice, I'll pick 1. That's for show balance. Again, we'll be calling a method later to show our balance. It doesn't do anything. A while loop. While, then do all this code. So I'm going to cut our code currently and paste it within the while loop. Now we can test is running. 1 is to show balance. We show our balance. 2 is to deposit. We deposit. 3 is to withdraw. Withdraw. 4 is to exit.
Okay, okay, I'm getting the picture
And we should
here.
exit.
So uh, I'm asking the user for the number here, right? So what can I do is I can say number is not 4, right? It can run until the number is not 4, but when okay, whatever happens inside this, so it will run until we enter 4. So let's do this. Okay, let's like do copy this. Let's copy this, paste this. Let's make possible few things, that is anti choice is going to be a permanent thing. Anti choice is going to be something that we are using, so let's make it a global variable. Anti choice is one of them. Then double double balance can have can have integers or double dots, decibels for balance and stuff like that. First of all, choice. If the choice entered by number, if whatever number, for first of all, let's say int number is int number is not equal to 4. Let's say I number is int number is, let's say int number is equal to 3. For now, this is this and here where if it is not equal to 4, then we go here. We say welcome to the ATM, enter number 1 to 4. Whatever enter goes here use will use as choice. So choice will go here. You see that the excited. So where whatever choice go inside here, then use the switch case. Simple. Let's go here. Possible let's go switch. Let's honestly remove this for now. There is no errors, I guess. Switch for practice. For main, it is this, I suppose. For this, it is that. For while, and another thing, so space switch will be choice. Multiple choice user integer will be given here. So say ask welcome to the while system is in the enter number 1 to 4. So it's here. So what has Broco done here?
Testing is running. You don't necessarily need to say equals true. If it's a Boolean, you can just say the Boolean variable's name. While is running is true. Then do all this code. So I'm going to cut our code currently.
Okay, we can do that. So what we'll do is welcome enter number 1 to 4. We'll say enter number 1 to 4. So
And you can just say the Boolean variable's name. Now we can test is running. 1 is to show balance. Our next step is to show balance. And this is going to be a method.
okay, let's do this. Let's first of all ask the user. So this can all be outside the choice, right? So what we can do is system.out enter number 1 to 4. South ATM was to deposit, then start again. Start again. 2 to L. Wait, wait, draw. Let's copy this. So this would be withdraw. This will be balance for me. It's free. For now, let us. So S1.
Side of our main method. 3 is to withdraw.
Okay. This one. This was one of the method. We could use his method too, which is basically one, two, three, four. It's default, I guess. This default. Balance with there is no way of like exiting the loop. To exit the loop, when we choose default 4. So when we choose this number, so what can we do? We can just change the value, right?
Withdraw. Force exit. And we should exit. While is running is true. Then do all this code. So I'm going to cut our code currently and paste it within the while loop. Now we can test is running. 1 is to show balance. Withdraw. Force exit. And we should exit. Process finished with exit code 0. 1 is to show balance, and let's true. We want this program to continue running as long as is running remains true. So let's enclose our code within a loop.
Okay, okay. Oh, okay, we could do that. So when it's for case 4, we can say you have chosen this possible. Yes, there is. since the choice to 5. Will you do that?
Then any other choice.
You can do that. Choice. Can we do that? Nope, nope, nope. No, no. Da, 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 da. So we need to use running. Can we do the something else? Can we say choice? Go to plus plus. Let's do that. We do that. Okay, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 4 is not working. So if I do choice plus plus, choice values should increase and go back to the choice. It's not really going outside of it. I'm inside the while loop, so this is not working. Oh. Let's see. Let's do this thing. Let's say choice equal to. We could do this obviously. It's not exiting, my guy. It's not exiting. If I choose 4, the choice should be. Let's make a cheese. I don't want to do this, but I'll have to do this.
Choice such as 5. I didn't play do option
Boolean. Just oh, it's working. So what if I do this? If I make, let's say int a is equal to 4, and while is equal to 4, until is equal to 4. If I do that and cross that, can I do that? Let's try. Okay, let's do 9 a is equal to 5, I guess. And if I do take a while a, is it true? Pa, 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 pa. Uh, yeah. The fuck I'm doing No, wait, this is the mistake here. Let's go back to that. It's running. Okay.
We have a variable of choice, 3 base, equal to following, our thing. Let 2 is for deposit, we're depositing. Then Israel thing is true. We deposit code 0, our main method. We're going to create a new method of show balance. This has to be a static method because our main method is also static. There's going to be one as a printf statement. And I'll zoom in a little. Within this printf to display to 0. F means floating point number. We will display our balance. And from the beginning, I'm actually going to set my balance equal to 0. We're going to be testing it. Then let me zoom out. For case 1, we're going to call the show balance method. But we have to pass in our balance variable. All right, let's test it. Enter a choice. I'll pick 1 to show our balance. Here's what we got currently. $0 and a bunch of zeros after the decimal. We are forgetting that new line character too. So let's add a new line character to the end before I forget. If you would like to display 2 digits after the decimal, for example, normally when you display a floating point number using print2, we're displaying. So I will type in 1. Our balance is $10.99. I think I'm also going to add a separator before displaying the balance too, to help with readability, although it's not necessary. So I'm going to cut one of these lines where we display a bunch of asterisks.
Double balance, surveillance, double balance, system dot out dot print. Percentage the percent.
Print it right before displaying the balance. Nice. Our show balance method is complete. I'm going to collapse this method. We don't need to code within it anymore to set your balance back to 0. Deposit method is double. There will be no parameters, but we will be returning something, a double. Inside of this method, I will create a local variable. The data type is double. The name will be amount. A user is going to type in an amount, the amount that they're depositing, using this method. This method isn't going to work properly until we return something. Add return statement. Just temporarily, so everything runs fine, I'm just going to return 0. We'll take care of this later. I just want everything to run and compile fine. We will prompt a user to type in an amount. I will use print instead of print line. That's my own preference for prompts. Enter an amount to be deposited. Now here's one issue. We're accepting user input from a user. Amount equals, if I attempt to use our scanner, scanner.next double, there's an issue. Our method isn't aware what the scanner is, because we declared the scanner within a separate method, our main method. Methods can't see inside of each other. There's a few different options. One, we could create a local scanner within this method. You know, scanner equals new scanner and all that. I don't like the idea of creating several different scanners within this project because then we're leaving them all open to accept user input. So why don't we do this? Let's take our scanner, move it from this local scope, and put it within a class scope. So let's cut our scanner within the main method and stick it within the main class. But it does need to be static.
Oh,
Because some static methods are using it, this one scanner is accessible throughout the whole program now. And that warning goes away. So I think this would be better than creating
the double amount when you do deposit. So whatever amount is inside of region.
several different scanners and leaving them all open throughout this program. We're just going to reuse the same one. At this point, we're going to verify the amount that the user types in. I'll use an if statement first. If a user types in an amount that's negative, well, they can't make a deposit. They can't deposit negative money. That's stupid. So the user does type in our amount. We're going to assign our balance variable. And when we call our method, we can delete this print line statement. If a user selects 2, call the deposit method. We're going to assign our balance variable. Balance equals our balance plus call the deposit method. Our deposit method is going to return a number, an amount. If it's valid, we're going to return it back to the place in which we call it. We will add this to our current balance and reassign it to balance. Our balance will equal our current balance plus the deposit that we make. We can
Your balance is your balance.
shorten this too. We could just say balance plus equals deposit. Okay, let's do a test run. Making program. Let's try and break it first again. Enter an amount to be deposited.
Okay, let's try them. Let's rather than doing one by one. This possible is basically well, using this stuff where we first of all we ask user what to do, then inside the case we did this thing. This is inside the case. Now let's make thing that is different from it. For case, this is this. For while running, this is that. While running for the while loop, that is that. For the main class, this is that. The first thing we need to do is make sure this becomes something that we use it here. What we need to use it as static. Static, so we can use it everywhere. That's the first step we can do. Second step after this is mixer. We write the program inside here. So write program inside here. For while loop, this is while loop, right? For public args, that is that while loop where so inside this. So we need to make so this as balance is just printing stuff. We don't have to do any calculation. We can just use it as something like, I guess, static void, static void, static void. I will name it balance. Uh, then whatever goes inside here will be uh, balance. So we'll just say print here stuff.
dollars to make it available. Plus, call the deposit method on execute. That's the same one. Equals scan one because we declared the scan balance to help with readability, although it's not necessary. So I'm going to cut one of these lines where we display a bunch of asterisks.
So let's say we need to choose the option number three. Then what we are basically doing is we are showing the balance. We're just checking what our balance is, right? So when you say balance number three, so balance number three, we are just showing whatever the balance is. So here's the thing. We need to take the deposit and minus the balance. So balance doesn't really return. So double balance means, so we call the balance here. So should be, let's call it so balance, I guess. That's what he did. I haven't even. I'm getting confused.
Point two. $0. If you would like to display 2 digits after the decimal, for example, after our placeholder, balance is $0.99. Enter your choice. I will type in 1. Our balance is $10.99. I think I'm also going to add a separator before displaying the balance too, to help with readability, although it's not necessary. So I'm going to cut one of these lines where we display a bunch of asterisks and print it right before displaying the balance. Let's show our balance, and here's our balance, $10.99. And we have some of those separators before and after, which I think looks nice. Our show balance method is complete. I'm going to collapse this method. I'm going to add, or I forget, balance. This method, we have to pass in our balance variable. Within this method, we're going to use a printf statement. We show our balance, loop, loop, while, through, then 3. So that works now. Of show balance. Void, we have to pass in our balance variable. Within this method, we're going to use a printf statement. I'll use American dollars. We need a placeholder. We'll use a little. Within this method statement, pick a unit of currency you would like to use for this banking program. I'll use American dollars. We need a placeholder. We'll use a % sign, and then F to display a double. F means floating point number. We will display our balance. And from the beginning, I'm actually going to set my balance equal to 0. We're going to be testing it. Then let me zoom out. For case 1, we're going to call the show balance method, but we have to pass in our balance variable.
Okay.
For case 1, I'm actually going to set my balance equal to 0. We're going to be testing it. Then let me
Brain is trying for now. We ask the user for what to do. Mm,
zoom out. For case 1, we're going to call the show balance method, but we have to pass in our balance variable. All right, let's test it. Going to call equal to 0. We're going to be testing it. Then let me
mm, 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 mm. Lovely. I'm okay. 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 Mm, 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 mm. Let's do testing. Yes, actually the testing. Why is mine not correct? My gosh. Is anything that I have done is a huge
zoom
mistake.
out. For case 1, we're going to call the show balance method, but we have to pass in our balance variable. All right, let's test it.
Um,
Enter a choice. I'll pick 1 to show our balance. Be tester. We will display our balance.
percentage. Oh my God. Everything that I have think that is correct. I'm using the percentage of sign. Don't know what my mistake is. Is it printf? Do I use printf? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Before we do, we need to do some things.
Place
How come
half method
yes?
because will be show balance. There's going to be one parameter, a double of balance. When we need to place, and for case one, we're going to call the show balance method, but we have to pass in our balance variable. All right, let's test it. Enter a choice. I'll pick one to show our balance. Here's what we got currently: $0 and like the decimal. Let's show our balance, and here's our balance.
Let's do deposit now. So let's do this deposit now. Let's do static. Wait, static. We need to use dot void. Now we need to use double deposit. Using return type. Then we need to ask if user. Let's call this deposit. So whatever user enters, so what we do when user calls, uh, whatever when user calls, I guess we call that calls. So whenever user do call, then we need to ask you to with user run is this is equal variable. So double so then we need to take the data, right? So now it's going to uh, yes, double. Next double, whatever user enter goes in here. We need to return, right? So when return goes here, so if rather than that, so it should be well balanced, right? balance plus what we have is plus deposit. Whenever we call that, then it will go in here. And whatever amount will basically just it will just return the amount. Whenever whenever we do this step, use one with three, then 200. That's working, I guess. Balance is 100. Just to 1000, right? 1000, then percent is yeah. First of all, let's check the balance. We have 21000, 21000 is our answer somehow. Let's get this. Let's get this right. Amount is 1000. So it should show 1000. I don't know why it's showing me 2000 for some reason. Let's say I say balance. Let's say I choose deposit. Then I choose, I guess, 1000 again. Then I chose three balance. Then it should show me 3100. It showed me that. It isn't doing that. So there is something that is missing. So balance plus do deposit. Something wrong in here, I guess. Amount is equal to amount is equal to return amount.
Balance $10.99. And we have some of those separators before and after, which I think looks nice. Method is to make a deposit. We'll create a method of deposit. We will create a static method. User is going to type in just temporarily so everything runs fine. I'm just going to reprint line. That's my own preference. We'll take care of it for you. We're accepting user input from isn't aware what to scan. Two different options. One, we could create a local scanner within this method. But I think user that's stupid. We'll return our amount. Now, when we call our method, we can delete this print line statement, cut our return statement. If the user does type in an amount that's valid, our balance variable, balance equals our balance plus call the deposit method. Our deposit method is going to return a number, an amount. If it's plus, call the deposit method. Our deposit method is going to return a number, an amount. If it's valid, we're going to return it back to the place in which we did. Our deposit method is going to return a number, an amount. If it's valid, we're going to return it back to the place in which we call it. We will add this to our current balance and reassign it to balance. Our balance will equal our current balance plus the deposit that we make. We can shorten this too. We could just say balance plus equals deposit. Okay, let's
This plus is equal to okay. So that's one thing I'm doing wrong. It's actually plus equal to okay. That's one thing I'm doing. Let's check now. First of all, let's check our deposit. Let's check our balance. Balance is 21000. Working. Let's deposit, I guess. Let's say 2000. Right now, let's check the balance. Balance should be 2300. Hey, I guess. Let's exit this sheet. Balance is equal to 1000 is running to balance. Is my spelling correct? So is my spelling is so balance is plus is equal to that. Is my like I guess case one case two mistake. Don't think it is. Whatever it will go so balance. It will go to the balance rate. Show me the balance. Hmm. Why is it my mistake? What's my mistake? But try to this. Then it's showing me 100. I don't know where the hell the 200 is coming because balance I have put is 1000, right? Balance I have put is 1000. So balance I have put is 1000. Balance I have put is 1000. Balance I have put is 1000. And when I go to check the balance, balance, so balance should be so balance, so balance. When you go here, percentage 2 here, percentage here. Let's just do this for a second and this first. Remove this. This should be the problem. I hope so. If I take the balance, be 0. Yeah, sorry. So if I go and deposit the stuff, I let's say 200, then check my balance now. The balance should be 200. Okay, so working to fine. I think it was mistake that needed to be done with that was related to my, I guess, uh, thing, I guess. So few improvement I need to do in this deposit stuff. So double the amount, enter amount of there, the amount is equal to that. If amount is equal to not how to say not positive.
Let's do a test run.
Is if amount is small than 0, then write out the amount cannot be small than amount cannot be okay, else return amount, I guess. What I have been missing, huh? Let's use this if or if it is this, for else this is that, for deposit it is that, for this it is that, for this add another one. This should nap nap. This and this is running. This and this should be running. This. So this. So we have one opening, two opening, three opening, and four opening. So closing should be like this is for a while. This is for a while. This is for this should be for like is public static. This should be for the public static records, and this should be for the this should be for the while. This should be for I guess the public static void main for the main. This one bit more static void for main I guess it should be inside the main for the main. It should be the last one, right? This should be the last one. For the public static void, this should be this should be outside of this. So this should have one of them. Great. Then while running, should have this, which is should be this, and switch cases would have that. So while running as have this much is correct, but this stat, for this stat, for public static void main, for public static void main, I need to use second one, three of them. So one, two, and three, and one, two, and three. Perfect. Then as we go in here, we have one, two. We are using two of them, so that you see where the problem is there. Public static void main. This is for I guess. So as we go in here, if but this is that, and then else, but it is this, right? Then this for now. Slash for this now is for this, right? Static for this, we need to use on the return amount, return amount.
Two. Enter. Then we're a nickel, 5 cents. All right. Withdraw. Let's one number. Good. I'll use an if statement first. If a user types in an amount is less, and then where we're going to return, let's cut our return statement at the end. We'll return our amount.
Okay, let's see. If this is going to be that, from zero. That was a mistake. Let's go deposit. Yes, enter 200. If possible, let's go zero. Welcome to internet zero. Enter. So I needed to make sure deposit. Let's say I choose one. Choose minus 10. Amount cannot be negative, and let's go and it's lovely. What we can add in here is we can just use this use else if else if else if out else if conditions in here if amount is equal to 0 when you are uh, then 0 return 0 else return that will try deposit and 0 100 lovely. Let's go to 4. Yeah. Now let's do the same thing, but for now our lovely, I guess. Let's close this. Let's close this. So let's take create static lover with discrete do with draw with draw. Let's create this masterpiece of collection. So whatever the amount is in due deposit, what we did was we entered the amount, and whatever amount it was, amount cannot be also within this thing. Then let's copy this. Like let's do this static. Let's copy this. So we will just do that. We'll just say neg amount. Let's do just neg amount. We'll just use neg amount. We'll use neg amount. We'll say neg amount. We'll return neg amount. Few things. Amount can amount to withdraws, draw. If neg amount is zero, the amount cannot be negative. Cannot be negative, so we cannot withdraw it, right? So if we need to do also do this, amount cannot be negative and amount cannot be more than the check balance. If the check balance is bigger than that, then there is going to be problem. If you do just do that, this will take this number, let's go yes, not here, but let's go to here, plus b, let's do it, yes, ba balance minus is equal to withdraw, return negative. If I use receive 200, check the balance is 200, then go to withdraw, then withdraw 300, then check the balance. Balance would be minus. That's the thing. We we are doing this correct, but one thing I don't know is how we could like use that, right?
Let's show our balance. Let's try and make that seems to have worked. Let's show our balance again. And here's our new balance, $150.05. All right, the deposit method is done. Program runs correctly. Amount. Within the class code that they don't have. In sub, else if our amount that the user types in is less than zero, we'll out.
So we could do that too. Okay. What can we do is we can go in here again. We can go back to our like here. Let's go back. We can go is let's say neg amount is small and balance. So does it know that it has balance? How does it know it has like balance or not?
Check that with an else. If somebody tries to withdraw,
Yes, I think we need to like make sure that it knows that we have balance. To do that, we need to use double balance, and we need to give our balance in here. It knows to mean. Oh my god, what's the mistake in here? So I'm just giving the balance, whatever the balance is. Okay, I need to say, okay, what?
a million, enter, create a local, return some. Or our balance again. And here's our new balance. And now we need a withdraw method. The name of this method is, within this method, I'm going to create a local variable.
Oh no, let's go double balance. For sake of balance, uh, amount is insufficient. Then else if negative amount is equal to 0, Again, we'll use this same thing. C, B, minimum is less than 0, cannot be negative 0, then it's I don't know why balance is showing me negative. There is definitely error in this part. I guess most of the other is. Can we do this without giving it balance? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yep. Double balance. Cannot do that. Can we just stay in the balance? We can just balance, right? Why is it showing error in here? I have done the same thing in here, but it is not showing me any error in there, but it is showing me error in that. Is there any error need to show me error in there? Okay, this is really pissing me off. Is to balance is equal to do balance. Is it because I'm giving the balance itself? So that's why it's like showing me error or something.
Of amount. Double amount. We will prompt the user. Scanner.next. Dollar funds that the user types in is less than 0. Else, when we reach the end right here, we're going to be returning the withdraw method. We have to pass in our balance, our original balance. From our current balance, we're subtracting the amount that we're withdrawing. We can simplify this expression too. We could say balance minus equals, then call the withdraw method.
I'm doing the same thing, but there seems to be some problem. I don't know why my this is doing this. I don't know why. This is the way to expect it. Can I just nope, it's not working. So balance is equal to something is missing in here, but I don't know what that thing is. So this is correct. So balance. Here is the error, I guess. Minus plus is the same thing. What he have done is way similar to what I have done. To make sure that there isn't like typography error, I guess. Balance is equal to balance minus to withdraw balance. I don't know why showing error, I guess return negative amount. For some reason it's showing me the balance.
We don't have a cajillion dollars. Let's withdraw again. I will try and withdraw negative money. Negative $420.69. Amount can't be negative. We can't withdraw negative money. Okay, let's try and withdraw something that's valid. Have a nice day.
We could do that. We could do that. Let's go in here first.
Let's print the files now. Let's try and withdraw something that's valid. Negative. Let's call the withdraw method. We will output amount can't be negative. We will return the amount that the user types in. Return amount. So within our if statement, return 0. Within our else if statement, return 0. When we reach the end, we do need to return something, even if it is 0. And I'm going to use print instead of print line. So let's go back to our switch right here. We're going to be returning a double. We will take our balance, pass in equal, we'll output else if statement. Else if the amount is greater than our balance, we're passing in our balance so we know what it is. If somebody tries to withdraw draw $1 million, but they have no money in their bank account. Well, they can't do that. We will print insufficient funds. What if
Oh my fucking lovely, mate. Lovely. That's lovely, mate. I cannot say anything more than that. To deposit, let's do 200 deposit. Let's say I need to check the balance. By balance, it's 200. Let's say I needed to like withdraw them. Let's say I have 1,000 of them because the amount is not sufficient. Let's check the balance again. Is there any like hidden balance? No. Let's go to withdraw again. Let's take out 100. Okay, lovely stuff. Now let's go to balance sec. Our balance is 100. Let's go and exit it. Lovely, we have just completed the ATM. uh, it was really an headache in itself, but honestly worth it. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Let's go to
they try
next.
and withdraw negative money? We can check that with an else if statement. Else if from our I'm going to add some text decoration, some separators. We now have we're going to give the user a total, the sum of a user is going to type in a number of dice they would like to roll. Based on the roll of each die, we will display some ASCII art. Then at the end, we will give the user a total, the sum of all the dice that they have rolled. So if that sounds good to you, let's begin. As a beginner, it might be helpful to you to break down a large project. It's greater than the final part of this project. We will display the ASCII art
Declare where get number of dice from the user. Get check if dice of number is bigger. That roll dice. Get the total.
of dice. We'll import generate random number random. We'll need a number of dice. The user is going to fill this in. Int num of dice. All right, now we need to get the number of dice from the user.
Okay, I have a few things to do. Let me take a rest. 5 minutes. I will come back. Better not go away. Oh. For today, that's it. Okay, audience, we will meet in 1 hour now. I will end the stream for now. I will again stream again. I think I will skipping most of these things. Now I think we are in Array and this stuff. I don't know how much time it's going to get, honestly. Let's see. Bye bye.